Am I going to be in pain for the rest of my life? A young 8-year-old boy asked his mother. Ever since Leo Jones could remember, he was in pain. His mother had taken him to the best doctors across the world, but they all came back with the same diagnosis. I have never seen anything like this before. Whatever is hurting him is coming from deep inside him. There is nothing I can do to help your son. After his most recent diagnosis, Leo's mom burst into tears. I'm so sorry, my sweet boy. I don't understand why no doctor can heal you. Leo wiped his mother's tears and whispered, You are an amazing mother. I don't want you to worry about me anymore. I promise you that I'm going to learn how to heal myself. That night, Leo snuck out of his bedroom and ran away from home. After hitchhiking a ride away from town, he found himself at the bottom of Mount Rainier, just outside of Seattle. Staring at the mountain, Leo nodded to himself. If I conquer this mountain, I will finally be able to show the world and my sweet mother just how powerful I really am. Taking a deep breath, Leo tried to run up the mountain, but his knees instantly collapsed. Lying in the grass, Leo screamed in agony. The doctors are right! My bones are cursed! Just then, a mysterious older man appeared. Hello, young man. Will you please help me carry my bags home? The old man pointed to his belongings and continued. My bags are too heavy for me. You see, I live on top of the mountain and my old bones are very brittle. Leo paused. My bones are worse than yours. I couldn't help you even if I tried. Nonsense. You have a deep power inside of you. Trust me, if you help me up the mountain, I will show you your true potential. Looking at the ethereal older man, Leo slowly nodded and stood up. I will try. The old man smiled. I think you're going to do a lot more than just try in your lifetime. Leo couldn't explain it, but he felt like he knew he could trust this man. With a nod, Leo replied, Okay, I will help you. The old man smiled. Thank you. If you help me get to the top of the mountain, then I will reward you with a power that will change your life forever. Motivated by the old man's mysterious mysticism and the need for help, Leo grabbed the old man's bags and helped him walk up the mountain. To Leo's surprise, his legs didn't buckle with each step. Instead, they grew stronger and more powerful. It was almost as if the energy source of the nature around him was flowing through him. As they approached the old man's hidden home, Leo felt tears stream down his face. I did it! I can't believe it! I made it to the top of the mountain! The old man smiled. And how do you feel? Leo gasped. Good! There is no more pain in my body! The old man smiled. You're welcome. Leo widened his eyes. You did this to me! What are you? I'm a healer, and so are you, Leo. Your healing hands are going to change the world. What do you mean? I'm just a boy. I mean, I can't even do multiplication. You must have me mistaken for someone else. Did you grow up with an unbearable pain that no doctor could ever diagnose? Leo's jaw dropped. How did you know? The old man grinned. It's because you're a healer. And until a healer learns how to control his power, his body turns against him and hurts him. That's why I am here. I was sent to train you so that you can fulfill your destiny. That's ridiculous. I can't stay here with you. The mysterious man paused. Do you want the pain to come back? Or do you want to master it and learn how to source nature's energy to become a miracle healer? Remembering his bone-shattering pain, Leo bit his bottom lip. My mother will be worried about me. How am I supposed to tell her that I'm leaving home at the age of 8 to live with you? This isn't the first time a healer has had to leave home at a young age. If you agree to stay, the Central Healers Organization will handle everything. And in the meantime, I will send a letter to your mom letting her know that you are okay. Feeling his bones vibrate with a healing sensation, Leo smiled. Okay, I'm in. I know that this is crazy, but I can't deny that this is the best I've felt in my entire life. And if there is any chance that I will be able to both relieve my pain and help other people, then I need to give this a shot. With a soft smile, the old man nodded. Young Leo Jones, one day you might just save the world. 10 years later, Leo Jones reappeared at the bottom of the mountain. In the last 10 years, with the help of the old man, Leo had become a master in the mystical art of thaumaturgy. He had learned a magical version of alternative medicine and had surpassed the old man in his skills. Standing at the bottom of the mountain, Leo smiled to his mentor. You changed my life. How can I ever repay you? An old friend of mine has a daughter. He is from a respectable family, and I think that you would make a good pair. Her name is Sophia Cohen. Here is her address. Please, go back home to Seattle, find Sophia, and marry her. She is expecting you. And remember, true love is the energy source of all healing powers. Leo hugged the old man. Not only did you heal my pain, but you gave me a new purpose in life. And now you have found me a bride. Thank you so much for everything. The old man returned his hug. You are the most powerful healer that I have ever met. I can't wait to see what you do with your life. Thank you. I will come back to visit. This isn't goodbye. The old man took a step back. Of course. And until then, remember that your hands hold the power to save a life. But there is a cost to it. In order to save a life, you have to give them a little bit of yours. Please, be intentional about who deserves your gift. You are no longer the little boy who you were when I met you. You have grown up to be even stronger than I knew was possible. Goodbye, Leo. Leo watched his mentor turn around and walk up the mountain. Goodbye, old man. Leo smiled as his eyes welled with tears. Standing alone at the bottom of the mountain for the first time in 10 years, Leo thought to himself, I am now 18 years old. I have my entire life ahead of me. But first things first, I must follow my mentor's request and return to Seattle to marry Sophia. I owe my mentor my life, so it's only fair that I trust his intuition regarding my future wife. After walking on foot for almost 2 days, Leo finally found himself back home in Seattle. Holding the address of his future bride in one hand and a cup of Seattle's famous coffee in his other, Leo walked down the street. I haven't been here since I was a young boy. Standing here now as a powerful man, I suddenly see so many opportunities. But before I embrace my new power, I must find an engagement ring so that I can propose to Sophia. Only how will I afford a ring when I don't have any money? Just then, Leo heard the sound of a woman screaming as a crowd circled ahead of him on the sidewalk. A beautiful woman named Kristen Smith pointed at an unconscious man on the sidewalk and screamed, "Ah! Someone please help him! He needs a doctor!" Walking up to the crowd, Leo saw the unconscious man lying on the ground next to Kristen's high heels. Leo noticed that the man's body was twitching uncontrollably. Before Leo could approach him, another man stepped forward. Give way, everyone! I'm Dr. Kim from the Seattle Medical Center. This patient needs first aid. Dr. Kim pressed on the man's chest and took out a medical kit at the same time. Leo stepped forward and whispered to Dr. Kim, "Excuse me, sir. I don't mean to bother you, but that's not going to work." While pressing on the man's chest, Dr. Kim scoffed at Leo. "How dare you question me? I'm a world-famous emergency room doctor. You are just a kid. You have no experience dealing with a medical crisis. Do you even know what resuscitation is?" Leo took a sip of coffee and calmly answered, "What I know is that within a minute, that man will convulse more violently than you could ever imagine, and then his heart will stop beating. And if you don't let me step in and heal him, he's going to die. Do you think that your pride is more important than this man's life?" Before Dr. Kim could reply, the man stopped twitching and his eyes burst open. "I don't believe it! He's alive!" Kristen gasped to her bodyguard. With a smirk, Dr. Kim turned to Leo. "The lady is right. The man is breathing because of me. It's not pride that I'm relying on, it's education. And now, thanks to my 20 years of medical experience, I have saved this man's life." Leo put his coffee down on the sidewalk and kneeled next to the man. "Your diagnosis is wrong. If you don't let me heal him, this man is going to die." Dr. Kim laughed. "You think that you can critique my diagnosis? Listen, kid. Why don't you go to med school and then we can talk? This man is alive because of me. Just look at him." Suddenly, the man began to convulse and lose consciousness again. In shock, Dr. Kim reached for the man's pulse. "I don't understand. This doesn't make any sense." Leo nodded to Dr. Kim. "His heart has stopped beating. If I don't find a way to save him in the next minute, he's dead. Now tell me, do you want me to save him?" Feeling a bead of sweat drop down his forehead, Dr. Kim shook his head. "There's no way that you can save him. This man is as good as dead." "Oh man, I'm gonna get in trouble for helping him when he isn't an official patient of mine. I should have called an ambulance. I'm gonna lose my medical license because of this." Leo sighed. "You still don't seem to care that this man could lose his life, do you? You only wanted to save him so that you could get validation from this crowd. Let me guess. You became a doctor for the money?" Dr. Kim looked down and lied. "No, I want to help people." Leo interrupted. "It's clear you only did this for the social status. You value Lamborghinis over human life. Don't you worry, doctor. I'm going to save this man for you. But I want you to remember that every lesson comes with a price. Therefore, I'm going to put a monetary value on the price of you learning compassion." Staring at the dead body in front of him, Dr. Kim turned to Leo and rolled his eyes. "You think that you can save him? If I can't save this man, there's no chance you would ever be able to." Remembering he needed money to purchase an engagement ring for Sophia, Leo nodded. "Okay then. If you promise to both give me $10,000 and have compassion for your patients, I'll save this man." Dr. Kim rolled his eyes. "Fine. Whatever. You know what? Heck, I'll give you $100,000 if you can save this man's life. At this point, I think you're all talk. If you want to accuse me of lacking empathy for my patients, then where's your compassion for this dead man?" Leo paused. "I was always going to save him. As a healer, it is my moral duty to save those around me. And I figured if I could both save him and your soul in the process, why not? Now remember, you owe me $100,000 and compassion for future patients." Before Dr. Kim could reply, Leo leaned forward and placed his hands on the dying man's body. With an all-knowing nod, Leo Jones reached into his pocket, pulled out a leather-bound case, took out a silver needle, and pricked a few needles on the man's body. "Are you seriously using acupuncture to save him?" Ignoring Dr. Kim, Leo took a deep breath and felt the power source pulse through his body and into the needles. The needles began to burn with energy as they pierced deeper into the man's skin. Leo felt his own pulse weaken as he continued to press his magic needles into the man. Suddenly, the man's breathing returned. A moment later, the man opened his eyes and turned to Leo with tears in his eyes. "You saved my life!" Leo breathlessly removed his needles from the man and placed them back into their case. Leo turned to Dr. Kim. "So, doctor, did you learn your lesson?